There we go. You know, it's a fantastic wedding when a memento is roadkill. Hey, maybe she saw it as a metaphor for the terrible marriage. So years later she began folding the rabbits because she was reminded of how rotten it was. Or, you know, something equally pretentious. Cool story, Neil. She's always got the best answer. He's such a downer. He's so sarcastic. Well, that's what happened to the rabbit. And she's always got the best answer for it. Poor thing. What's with all the roadkills today? Don't you look at me like that. She's referring to the nasty incident at the start involving a squirrel. Smells like a farm. And roadkill. Deactivate the scent simulator or get away from it already. Am I supposed to go this way? She's looking for mementos on the road here. Better not get run over. That's a horse. Don't do it. Don't do what? You know what. Don't not ride this horse? What are you, 5 years old? Okay, I won't not ride it. Yeah! Here we go. Quit wasting time, Neil. Oh crap. That can't be good. Do something! Don't just stand there. Help me. Damn it, this was not in the job description. Let's check out the note on Village Idiot. That's a nice touch. Now where's she gone? I take it we've got to find the horse then. Oh, okay. So John's saying, is that really a good idea? She should be okay, she's not new to this anymore. But she's never done it by herself before. I'll be fine, I'm not a child. River! What's the matter? Let's go. Hey, wait up. I wonder if Neil got off that horse yet. Apparently not. Why is there like a horse, like a ghostly horse in the memory? It's about 19% more than I can handle. What a moron. Oh, what, corn cob? Right, okay, so we've had cucumber, cactus and corn cob now. They all begin with C. This is her, like, substitute for swear words. Hold space to gallop. Okay. Where are we going? Am I trying to catch him or not? I don't really know what I'm trying to do here. Or do I need to catch up with the others? He's still legging it on that horse. Right, yeah, I'm not too sure what I'm doing here. Am I just running around trying to look for the mementos, or...? Oh, there's a rock there. Oh, a horse can surely get over that flower there. Okay, I've got five things now. And the music again, the music is a riff on the main theme, which is kind of nice. So what do I do? Where's he gone? There we go. Where's he gone? Yeah, still not sure. Oh, he's back here. Okay. How do I... There we go. This momentum will do, but I'm not getting that horse again. You go get the rest of the memory links. I already have. Right, okay, another puzzle. Ideal 4. Oh. So it looks like we're preparing the diagonals. Yeah. I think. 2, yeah. 3, 4. So we're even further back now. Where are we? Okay. Is the diagnosis certain? Dr. Lee says, yes, we've reached a consensus on the results. Unfortunately, like many cases of pervasive developmental disorders, this is a rather late diagnosis. Had you known when you were a child, it could have saved you a lot of trouble. Do you have any books on it? This one is by Tony Atwood, who's one of the specialists on the subject. You can borrow it free of charge for now, just don't elope with it. Thanks, Doc. Now, are you two a couple? Unmarried and without any other current legal affiliation? Yes, I see. Well, I could give you a referral to a specialised counsellor if you wish. Is there anything unsettling in the relationship? No. And you, sir? No, it's fine. Nonetheless, sir, you should also give the book a read. It'll help you understand her condition. I'd rather not. Why is that? Well, it's your call. In the meantime, there is a thing called equine therapy that might help her. Ah, this explains the horse riding then. I ranch just north of here opposite. I can contact them for you. Told you so. So these guys were speculating earlier on what condition she has. Let's have a look at the note on Tony Atwood. The author of a series of books on River's condition still doesn't mention by name what the condition is. Which is interesting. I think it's up to you, the player, to kind of determine that. Which is why I'm asking you, the audience. Okay. That's a memento, okay. Excuse me, could you please silence the clock? The ticking really bothers her. It's not that severe, I'll be okay. No problem, it's standard policy. If there's anything at all that makes you uncomfortable, just let me know. Wow, okay, thank you. Huh, guess that explains the ones in the house. So if you remember, there were a couple of clocks back in the house and they weren't making any sound. Just a bit longer, they'll be calling for you soon. Oh, sorry. Done that one already. Can we go through here? No. Okay, well where... Oh, there's a thing down here, isn't there? A stuffed toy platypus again. Can't believe this piece of atrocity is dated all the way back here. Looks like someone took good care of it. She's still got pretty bad taste in animals, though. I don't know, I quite like the platypus, don't you? What do you think, guys? We can't actually view it from here. That's annoying. That's 4. Maybe we missed one in here then. What's this? A plain tawny handbag. That handbag was the memento last time. We should be able to jump now. So this is her diagnosis, and if we look, we're not that early in Johnny's life, really. He's, what would you say there, like a teenager maybe? Like early 20s? I don't know. He's got grey hair here, so that's going to be like 40 or 50 maybe. So she didn't get diagnosed when she was a child. And obviously that's kind of a bit of a problem. Ideal on this puzzle's 4 then. This one reeks of needing a diagonal though. Let's start with a diagonal, see what happens. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's the clock. Yeah. Be right back, says Mr. Bonky, no problem. It's To the Moon, ladies and gentlemen. RPG Maker game by Ken Gao. Music by Laura Shigehara. Which is one of my favourite games, if not my favourite game ever. I only played through it just the once, and I wanted to play through it again because it's been several years. I wanted to relive the story. I think it's fantastic. And it's not much of a looker, but really you play this sort of thing for the story. And we're probably about halfway through, I don't really know. But let's continue. We're in a kind of an auditorium. I can't believe you once paid to see this crap in the theatre. No, you idiot, look, we've leaped. So he's a lot younger here, Johnny. We're following the story of Johnny and River, and we need to go back into his memory to find out how we can re-engineer his memories to make him believe that he's an astronaut when he goes to the moon. It's his dying wish. We've got this machine that can redo people's memories just before they die so that they think they've lived a different life. And we're going backwards through his memory, trying to find his childhood so that we can kind of, you know, make him believe that he's become an astronaut and gone to the moon. Wholly overcooked macaroni. The kid's in the theatre all by himself. What a loser. You go to the theatre by yourself all the time. That's different. No one's competent enough to watch my taste. But that aside, how could anyone last through this rubbish? Oh, he's off. Welcome back, Mr. Bonky. And thus this movie sucks on both physical and metaphysical levels, QED. Come on, let's go. What? Oh, right. Question is, why are we in this particular memory? Well, wait, I ain't talking to no emo teenager. Okay, so Johnny's a teenager at this stage. Grammar, my dear Watson. Shut up, that's not even a full sentence. Let's just go look for mementos. That's back into the movie theatre there. I don't think we need to go in there. Let's go back out to the lobby then. Okay. These are all things from Johnny's memory, but he doesn't remember the faces. That's the third person you've removed here. Not like it's permanent. So we're in his memory, we're not changing the past itself, we're just changing the way that Johnny remembers it. And he doesn't remember these people, he just remembers their presence. It's kind of like, you know, when you go somewhere and you're kind of aware that there's lots of people there, but when you think back, you can't remember exactly who was there, because you probably don't know a lot of these people. You know that poking them out of the way like that does nothing, right? Then why complain? She's got a point. What's Johnny doing here? Getting stood up? No, that's a Kodak moment. You relate well with your kin, I see. He is an asshole, isn't he? Dr. Watts. I want to construct him a lady friend. Can we construct him a lady friend for him, Eva? No. Ah. It looks like he's gone to the movie theatre and she hasn't turned up. I'm assuming he's waiting for River. Oh look, this place is all empty and creepy now. Won't be happy. What's going on? Quit wasting time and leave him alone. Huh. I don't know what's going on with the power here. Seems to be cutting in and out. Well, there's nothing here. Hate to say it, but I guess I have to nag something out of him again. All yours. At least there's no olives this time. Referring to our earlier experience where Dr. Watts had to share 2 jars of pickled olives, which she hates, with Johnny just to get enough mementos to make the leap. There she is. River? You were in there this whole time? I waited for you at the lobby, I thought you didn't come. Why did you leave? I thought we were watching a movie together. Huh? I'm the one who should ask that. What do you mean? We were watching a movie together and then you left. We weren't watching it together. I didn't even know you were there. If you saw me in there, why didn't you come and find me? What difference does it make? We were watching the same movie in the same room. Huh. What's wrong? You're so weird. Do you not want to watch the movie together anymore? Of course I do. Come, let's head back in before it ends. So this is another characteristic. People with her condition. Most people would see seeing a movie together as sitting next to one another, but she clearly doesn't. She doesn't need to be sitting next to him. She just needs to be in the same room, you know, watching the same movie. And for her, that's together, and that would feel weird for a lot of people, you know. Mr. Monkey's asking about my shirt. Take it easy. This is from my trip to Winslow, Arizona. This is from the Eagles song of the same name. Take it easy. Turns out when I went to America I did bring a lot of clothes, but not enough, so I had to get some more. And I thought, what better place to get some extra clothing than Winslow in Arizona, which is famous from that line in that Eagles song. I feel like I should make a clever remark, says Dr. Watts. You feel wrong. Well, let's hope our ride's waiting for us in there. Let's go back in the movie theatre then. Can we go in here? Yeah. Right, we need a memento. Is that the platypus? Again. She loves that platypus. And maybe it is, maybe that's symbolic of the fact that she is weird. People see her as this very strange person, you know, and the platypus is a rather strange creature itself. Okay, I feel like this is a diagonal one again. Ugh. Maybe it's not. I get a 5 on this one. Let's flip the diagonal. Oh, okay, yeah, right. And that's it in 5. Let's jump again. We come right back to her teenage years, or their teenage years. I think this platypus is growing on me. Mostly just for convenience, but hey. Okay, we're jumping again. This looks like a school. Maybe we're in their high school or something. I'm assuming this is based on America. It's not very clear where this is set. This is young Nicholas. Come on, dude, grow some balls. It's not that. Look, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Ah, sheesh. What could possibly happen? Just think about it. Worst case scenario, she says no. You strut on like nothing's happened, no one will know, and everyone will still think you're cool. But what if she tells someone? Or yells at me? Don't be a little wuss! Or says yes but really means no. Shh, quit worrying. Who would do that? I wonder if she throws me an encyclopedia in my face. I don't even have a helmet. Dear Lord, I'm so not prepared for this. Dude, don't panic. Just straighten your spine and quit being a little wuss. Yeah, you tell him. Everything will be alright, just turn around. Okay. Okay. Hey, what are you... Shh. Hello. Hello? Can you hear me? Yes. And why didn't you... Never mind. That's a cool platypus you got there. What are you reading? A book. About platypus? No. Oh, I think that's great. You can tell he's really cringing at this. There's Dr. Watts. Lighthouses. Huh? There are exactly 16 second order Fresnel lens lighthouses in the country left. 9 of them are coastal, and 1 of them was modified from a historic kerosene lamp lighthouse. Oh, is that what you're reading about? Say, do you want to go catch a movie together sometime? I don't know. That's okay, I'll give you some time to consider it. I can't. Why? There's no date or time. Oh, how about this Saturday at 8? Well. Eva, I think the system for... Yes, says River. Oh, great. Never mind. I guess we'll work out the details later. I'll just... Mr. Monkey says, I want to go to sleep, but I also want to see this. Dude, this is the wine talking. It's like 11 PM. In Denmark right now. And this is characteristic of a lot of people with this type of condition. She's very literal. It didn't occur to her that it would be very obvious that she is reading a book, and that he was actually asking what type of book she was reading, which is why her answer was just a book. It didn't seem out of place to her. And it was a characteristic of a lot of the more nerdy members of society that are fairly famous. Paul Dirac springs to mind as well, a famous mathematician, scientist that would be almost a liability at social events, because he would answer in such a literal way. You know, he didn't see that what he was saying was not normal, what most people would consider normal, I suppose. It's 12, is it? You're only 1 hour ahead in Denmark. Is my computer clock wrong again? You're quite right. My computer clock is an hour wrong because Windows. Like, it's the only operating system I know that's got the time wrong, you know. Anyway, it is indeed midnight in Denmark. I will be putting the rest of this on YouTube anyway. If you leave at this stage, I will be the only person. You will be the only person here, so I'll be streaming it to myself effectively. But we're going to put it on YouTube in case anyone wants to watch it later. What are you looking at me for, says Dr. Watts? I think I'm going to call out how utterly awkward that was. Or just forget it. I'm not giving in to your expectations. Give him a break, he was still just a kid. You of all people should relate. What's that supposed to mean? Shut up and go. Shut up isn't my name, you know. Well, I suppose if you look at it from the right angle... No, not really, never mind. He really doesn't like that platypus. Yeah, that kind of exchange is typical, though. It really is. What the heck were you doing in there, dude? What? I asked her out. No, that was pathetic. If I were you, I'd just barged in there and be all like... Oh, I can't even read that. It's gone off the screen. Yay, you, go out, me, you now. That's just terrible. I know, and it would have still been better than what you just did. Okay. This is some kind of art class then. Dear Lord, I can't believe you got me to take this stupid class. Oh, come on, it's fun. Only if you can paint. You get good if you practice, you know. Yeah, right, after this class, I'm never picking up a brush again. Okay. Leonardo da Vinci, trained by drawing eggs. Barrels are like very big eggs. Therefore, you will all be very big Da Vincis. I know, look at his painting. Look at Mr. Bonky's pointing at his it's just like a smiley face. Well, it's not even a smiley face, it's like kind of a sad face. What the hell? Yeah, you can tell he's not very good. Yet. He was, I mean, at the start of the game we were told he became a craftsman. We're exploring the school now. We need 3 bars of memory to proceed into that room. Anyone? Johnny doesn't remember his teacher's face. Anyone at all? Alright then. River, why don't you answer it? I know you know the answer. We're waiting, River. Fine, I guess we'll have to... He made sail on August 3rd of 1492 from the Spanish city of Palos de la Frontera, which was founded in 1322 and granted to Alvar Perez de Guzman, who was at the mere age of 14 by the... Okay, I only asked for the date, so it's a Columbus reference. See, was that so hard? Good lord, does everyone in her condition have near photographic memory? Not really, though I think their rote memory is often fairly strong. It is somewhat characteristic, like one aspect of people with this condition, they often have a very strong, like they can have eidetic memory, photographic memory that is, or they can have other very singular, very strong ability, and then be somewhat abnormal, like typically in social situations. Let's see what's in here. See if there's anything in here. Psst, she's coming this way. Alt tab, alt tab. Oh, don't tell me you're going to get a note explaining what alt tab is. Oh, lifesaver. Okay, right. Fair enough. Those notes are like they're colourful, but they're not very functional. What condition is this? Says Mr. Bonky. You still don't know. Locked. Only open during lunch hours. Well, I mean, part of the game is discovering more about this condition, and I guess it's down to you, the viewer, to find out for yourself. That's a wrap. Your chance to be better next time. An atrium. I should use this place later. Just can't believe that these court lines are rectangles in his head. Yeah, that's another fourth wall breaker, I guess. It's obviously they're rectangles because this is RPG Maker. Autism. Yes. Yes. Kind of. I do. Yeah, I believe she is autistic. I don't think the game ever actually specifically mentions that. Yeah. So they're having a press-up competition, looks like. We've got 4 bars of memory here. Odd that there's a piano in the gymnasium. My best friend has autism. So are you familiar with any of the kind of character traits that we're seeing here in River, Mr. Bonky? That appears to be open now. I mean, in a way, the story is about Johnny. You know, we're trying to rewrite his memory because he wants to go to the moon. But it is probably more about River. Yeah, especially the literal part, says Mr. Bonky. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, I've never known anyone with this particular condition. I know a lot about it just because a lot of my, I suppose my heroes, you know, like famous scientists and things like that, a lot of people do have that condition just because they've got this intense ability in one particular area, say mathematics or something, and because of their condition they sort of lack the social ability, and then they get pointed out for that, you know, funny stories and things about when these people did odd, but things that people would consider odd, I suppose. Perfectly normal to them, I'm sure. So Nicholas says, yeah, she's unique, but uniquely boring. I mean, just look at her. There she is up here. Sitting with her platypus. She just sits there by herself all day with that creepy deformed duck toy. That's not a deformed duck, that's a platypus. What the heck's a platypus? Quit making words up. So Mr. Bonky says, I'm a very logical thinker, so I'm not exactly an emotional support kind of guy, but my friend doesn't even come close to it. He's fairly oblivious to other people's facial expressions and the surrounding atmosphere. Yeah, so again, it's another characteristic. I'm not trying to stereotype all people with this particular condition because, I mean, Izzy made it very clear earlier in the story that it manifests itself in different ways, but quite often it can be an apparent lack of empathy, you know, the inability to really relate to people and almost give a crap what other people are thinking, you know. Anyway, she's just so off, you know. It's like she's from a totally different planet or something. I know, isn't that cool? If you're into aliens and that sort of stuff, I guess. But really, if you want to be weird, why don't you just go hang with the emos and goths? Well, for one, don't want to ruin my hair. The fact we got a name for them says a lot too. Look, Nick. I just don't want to be another typical kid in a sea of typical people. But how the heck would being with her change your own identity? I mean, you'd just be some guy who hangs out with a shy girl. She's not just shy, Nick. There's something strange about her. Being strange isn't always a good thing, you know. Do you even know if she wants to be different? Maybe she just wants to fit in like everyone else. And if she does, pushing her the other way wouldn't really help, would it? Look, Nick, the point is that I know what I need. And she's the one who has it. So you want her for what she has, but not for her. That's cold, man. I just hope you know what you're doing. I do. I think you're wrong, though, says Nick. People aren't that typical. Everyone's unique in some way. That's just what grandmas tell you. So this piece is really about the perception of normalcy, I suppose. So we have these kind of norms, social norms, how people are expected to behave, you know, and especially during a time in your life like when you're in school or something like that, there is this immense pressure to kind of fit in. And it's about whether Johnny's apparent lack of care for fitting in, whether he's using River to service this, because he doesn't want to fit in and he wants to be with someone who doesn't want to fit in, or whether he wants to be with River before who River is, you know, bearing in mind they don't know a lot about each other at this stage in this memory, you know. Wait, so this guy's some kind of human hogging hipster? That's sort of disturbing. You know, sometimes I want to slap our clients upside the head. It's high school, everyone's a bastard. So they've obviously come down on the side of Johnny being sort of wanting to use this girl, you know, at this stage anyway. But hey, welcome to the club. Wait, so this is what he told her about the cliff? Oh, we didn't need a flashback for that, did we? Oh, we didn't have the whole flashback, so that's good. So this is coming back to the point that a lot later on, in a much later memory, which is obviously earlier in the game because we're going backwards through his memories, he's saying that they kind of met under false pretenses because he wanted to be with someone who stood out, not necessarily her, but he wanted to be with somebody who stood out, I guess. But in a way it was, because it would, and like I said, I'm not talking from experience because I don't know anybody who has these kind of, has this condition or anyone even close. But how do you get to know somebody like that enough to know whether you want to spend more time with them? You know, that must be quite difficult because River in this case is obviously very isolated. She doesn't willingly associate with other people. She then went cuckoo and began making those creepy rabbits, right? Again, really sensitive from Dr. Watts there. Because he confessed this from who knows how long ago. I guess she's pretty good at holding a grudge. I'm not buying it. Something feels missing. I think so too. Then go get a hat, Sherlock. Come on, I think our passport's leaning against the table there. By passport he means the way of jumping. That's the memento. We need the other piece of memory though. What's this? I'm envious that this kid was still there to help him move pianos when their hair grew white. Yeah, so it was like a lifelong friendship, really. Wish I was still in contact with my childhood friends. And come to think of it, I'm not, really. You haven't had long enough yet, Mr. Bonky. But yeah, supposing my childhood ended, say, 20 years ago, I'm not really in touch with anyone from that period, except my family. So we need one more piece of memory. It's probably over by River, who is, you know, pictured here sitting on her own. Just love how every time we see this thing we're guaranteed a free memory link. Must have left a big of scar in his mind as it did on mine. And there is no black and white in the story. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's just shades of grey, which is cerebral. In that, should I even? No need. I'm all good now. It does make you think. It makes you think what is right and what's wrong here. Oh, for Walnut's sake. Well, that's the first time she's used a substitute swear word that isn't starting with C. That one starts with W, at least. But what have we had now? Cucumber, cactus, corn cob, and now walnut. So most of them have been edible. She's just going to do it, isn't she? Not cool, either. You never cockblock someone in the middle of a Kahama. I don't even know what that is. Must have missed that reference. What? Alright, I deal 6 on